This is a Hot Pie Original.
Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast with me, Chad Fisher. No more.
Yo, it's Aaron Cheatham. Yeah, we out the house, boy.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gray Area Podcast. I am Chad Fisher alongside my co-host, very funny, very talented, Mr. Aaron Cheatham. How you doing, brother?
Brother, I am fantastic. Goddamn it! I'm trying to tell you,
yeah.
it's a jacketless day in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, it is, dude. In January, which is awesome.
Which is, I mean, it's Texas, so that's kind of typical. But damn, it feels good to be able to walk around.
Hopefully, winter's about over, man. We'll see.
What winter? We had 2 weeks?
Yeah,
you're from Ohio. You should know better.
I've been here 11 years now. Yeah, it's fucking incredibly mild. It's a shit. It's like the perfect amount of winter. You're like, all right, dog, I'm done with this shit. And then it's
around
like, all right,
the time it gets
you
on
done?
your nerves?
Okay, baby, don't worry about it. We done too. I'm like, hell yeah. I'm done. I'm ready to wear some fucking shorts and shit.
That's right. I forget, I often forget your whiteness. You can't wait to wear flip-flops right now.
Oh, hell yeah.
See?
You already know.
White people can't wait to put some goddamn flip-flops on.
Oh, yeah. I love me some flip-flops, man.
They don't give a fuck. Lotion ain't seen them toes in a decade.
Hell no. My motherfuckers.
Ingrown toenail, sideways toenail, busted up hammer toes. Y'all can't wait.
I don't give a fuck. I ain't be cutting these damn toenails.
They be hooked around your goddamn toenail.
I just be slicing fucking pineapples open with these motherfuckers and shit. I don't give a fuck.
I believe it. Yeah. I believe it. White people have bad foot maintenance.
But nobody like touching their toes like that, man.
I'm not gonna lie. I wear socks all the time because I don't like keeping up with my feet like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't fuck without socks.
I can tell you got some fucked up toes because you wear slippers. Anybody wear slippers got fucked up toes.
My toes ain't fucked up. They dry. That's all.
Anybody that wears slippers got fucked up toes.
How you figure?
Dog.
Everybody wears slippers.
No, I don't.
Yeah, but you also stomp on cockroaches barefoot.
Yeah, I do. I don't mess around. I have done that shit before.
Do the barefoot stomp.
Sometimes you ain't got time to go get a shoe and shit. That motherfucker is fast. You already know. He could be on the other side of the street by the time you go get a shoe.
See, and that's why. And you talk about bad toes. Wearing slippers ain't got nothing to do with bad toes. Wearing slippers is I've lived in houses with roaches and I ain't barefoot stomping shit. That's why I got slippers on.
That's why you got a house full of roaches too. You got to kill them motherfuckers.
No, now it's just habit. Now it's just habit.
You can't sleep on them fucking roaches, man. When you see them, you got to take them out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to be honest, you showed a mercy with the foot.
Yeah. Because
I would have went and got me an aerosol can and a lighter.
Yeah. See, I ain't trying to do all that.
See,
maybe we can talk to our guest today about getting me like a little pistola. I can start
a little roach pistol,
a little pistola,
roach, a little 22.
To start shooting out fucking roaches out of my crib and shit.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, you start fucking with Mike, and I swear to God, a year from now, you'll be like, man, I shoot an antenna off a roach from 100 yards away.
I don't give a shit. Look at me now.
I got this high caliber roach rifle.
Hell yeah, dude.
Shooting paper clips like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Just to let everybody know, I don't have roaches at the crib like that. It's just like it's Texas. Everybody got roaches.
Everybody call water bugs. They water bugs. They ain't no roach. That was a water bug. It's a beetle.
Everybody has roaches in Texas, man. Everybody.
You got a shout out for this week?
Yeah. Why don't you go first, though, man?
My shout out is to Bernie Sanders for not giving a fuck.
Dog, I was gonna be mine too. Shit.
Okay, well then we have a dual shout out for Bernie. Bernie Sanders said, "I'm wearing mittens and Cheatham slippers in public."
He looked like he had somewhere to go and shit. Like right after that,
Bernie's hands.
I'm just stopping by for a minute. I gotta go mail these letters and shit as soon as we're done.
Bernie's hands were the equivalent of my feet with the slippers. Like what grown man wear mittens?
They should be happy that motherfucker showed up.
That's why you can't be president. You can't be president wearing mittens out in public.
That's why I think he should have been president. Because of that shit.
You can't push the button with mittens on your hands. You can't.
I want a nice. Would you leave your kids alone with Joe Biden?
Yeah.
Hell no. The fuck you would. The fuck you would.
I mean,
you got me fucked up.
Is he my neighbor?
Nah, it's Joe Biden.
Oh, just drop him off at the White House?
Yeah, he's like, can I watch your kids? And
yeah. Because he's not actually going to be watching them. He's going to have some age or something. You know, some chick wearing a nice blouse and some pearls on. Yeah.
Your kid's going to be coming back there like, he just smelled us a lot.
You know what? I would leave my kids with a sniffer before I leave them with a poker.
Why did he sniff us so much? That was weird.
It's nothing that they don't get at home.
Yeah, mine was going to be Bernie Sanders as well, man. Bernie Sanders.
That was gangster, though. Like, that was like, I don't give up. Fuck.
I think it's hilarious that the Democrats get up there and say, like, this is democracy in action while they totally admitted to rigging their own election. That's hilarious to me.
Can I just say, like, I want that to be the new I don't give a fuck pose. From now on.
Bernie Sanders with his legs crossed.
Whenever you get to that point, like, I don't give a fuck, just throw you.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck.
Those mittens were hilarious, man.
We do have a great guest with us, though.
Yeah,
today.
we do, man. Super exciting.
Super. Like, I have a long history with this guy. I'm very excited to have him on.
Yeah, he's been described as Texas's fiercest defender of gun rights. He filed a lawsuit against the ATF and the DOJ for the right to own bump stocks, which I thought had something to do with Wall Street before I started reading about this shit.
It sounded like something from Laredo. Bump stock.
Right. I was like, bump stocks. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was like terrible stocks that someone bought.
We doing coke?
Shit.
What's going on? Who got the blow?
Like, what the fuck? We got some blow in this motherfucker? This dude selling blow out of a gun store? That's the shit. He is the owner of Central Texas Gun Works. He also has a podcast called the Come and Talk It podcast. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Michael Cargill. How you doing, brother?
All right, man. Let me tell you something. You sound blacker than me. Let me tell you. I just want everyone to know that. But this guy, I'm listening to him like, God, your voice, you black.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, there's some black blood somewhere.
Somewhere, man. You know, I get that all the time.
Tell him it's just like, from the waist down.
Doug.
From the waist down.
No, obviously I get that all the time. That's hilarious. Anytime I go to drive-thrus and shit, they say that stuff.
They were waiting on the black guy behind you. That's who.
It's probably because I'm always smoking a blunt too. Because you can't go to Popeyes. They will not take your order if you don't have a blunt in your mouth at Popeyes in the drive-thru. I found that out.
And that's why I don't shop there.
You shop there, motherfucker.
I don't shop there.
Yeah.
Mike, how are you doing? How's your week been?
Oh man, doing good, really good. I've been selling a lot of guns. It's been crazy. 2020 was the year.
Man, we gonna get into that.
It was the year.
We gonna get it because 2020 was the year for firearms and drugs. Like everybody stocked up on both of them.
A lot of it. Yeah, they're trying to get bullets right now. They got guns but no bullets.
Ooh,
so what are you gonna do? Throw the gun.
Pistol whipping motherfucker.
Yeah, just pistol whipping people.
People selling bags of ammunition. Hey, how about two bullets, 2 9mm for a loaf of bread? I'm telling
that's
you
the
right
new
now.
hustle, dog. We need to just stand on the corner. Hey man, I got them 9mm right here. I got them 9mm. What you want? I got them 50 cals. What you want? Let's do it.
That's how it's going. That's how it's going.
Mike,
so why do you think? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Mike. We like to play a game with our guests every week. And we got a fun game lined up for you this week. Are you ready to play a game with the Gray Area Podcast?
Okay, I'm scared. Let's go.
All right. The name of this game is called "Don't Quote Me, Boy."
Okay.
All right.
So aggressive,
Chad. Here is your trophy that Chad will be defending the Gray Area Podcast party bag paperweight.
Yeah.
Yep. Mike, if you win, you can go home
with this party bag.
Much better than a rock.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a rock dressed up. Let's be real.
It's got way more flair than a regular rock.
All right. So the way this works, I'm gonna read you guys a quote, and I'll give you 2 choices, and you tell me who you think said it. Simple enough?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. First quote: if someone has a gun and is trying to kill you, it would be reasonable to shoot back with your own gun. Was that the Dalai Lama or Ronald Reagan?
I think Reagan. That for some reason, right when you said that, I started thinking it was Reagan.
Reagan?
Yeah.
You got Reagan, Mike. Who you got?
Oh man. I'm definitely gonna go with Reagan.
Really?
Yeah.
You're both wrong. It was the Dalai Lama.
What?
Are you serious?
Motherfucker.
Oh, yes, the Dalai Lama.
Wow.
The Dalai Lama. That was a quote from him himself. The holiness of holiness.
Wow.
He's like, meditate before you fucking
Yeah,
kill
meditate
some
before you
people.
pull the trigger, though. But if they busting at you, like the Dalai Lama was a gangster.
Yeah, he was, man.
If they shoot 2, shoot 4 back. God damn it.
He started quoting Tupac afterwards and shit.
Right?
I always said, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
There you go.
You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today.
All right, so neither one of you got the first one right. Let's try the second one. I have a strict gun control policy. If there's a gun around, I want to be in control of it. Was that Brad Pitt or Clint Eastwood?
Definitely Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
Clint Eastwood?
Definitely.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
sound like you don't even want to commit to anything after that Dalai Lama. You're like, I
shit's scary.
can't.
It could be anybody, man.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely
know.
Clint.
Fucking Prince. I don't know. Who the fuck said that shit?
Yes, it was Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood did say that.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. He's a mama's boy. So whatever Angeline says he can do, he'll do.
He's a mama's boy.
That's right. Yes, honey.
Oh, titty boy.
That's right. Sit down over there in the corner and shut up. Watch the kids.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so you guys are tied. Next one. We got 3 left to go. Next one. Gun control. We need bullet control. I think every bullet should cost $5,000
Oh, dude.
because if
I
a
already know
bullet
who-
costs
I was
$5,000, we wouldn't have any innocent bystanders.
Chris
Was that-
Rock.
Chris Rock.
Don't even let me finish. All right, yes, you got it.
Chris Rock.
All right,
That's one
little,
of the funniest jokes ever. man.
little layup for you. All right, here we go. Next one. Sometimes if you want to get rid of the gun, you have to pick up the gun. Was that Malcolm X or Huey Newton?
Definitely Malcolm X.
Yeah, I'm the same Malcolm.
Huey Newton, guys.
What the fuck?
Huey
Who
Newton.
the fuck is Huey Newton?
The Black Panthers. Huey
Oh,
Newton.
okay,
Yeah,
my bad.
Huey
Yeah,
Newton.
Don't cut that out. Don't
Dog,
have him saying who the fuck is Huey
Dog,
Newton.
I
on
don't
our
know what the fuck.
No, keep that in there.
Yeah,
Dog.
he said keep that in there.
Now we know he is white. He's white. We're good.
I'm gonna bring out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich here real quick too, just to
We're
prove
good.
it.
You know what,
With some
Chad?
mayonnaise.
Just hit the Bernie on him one time. All right, last one. This is you guys are tied right now with 2 correct and 2 wrong. This is the last one for all the marbles. Without question, the Red Ryder BB gun is the most important gun in the history of American weaponry.
I know this one.
Was that Ted Nugent or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh,
That'd be Ted Nugent, right?
Mike?
can I phone a friend?
No, you can't phone a friend.
It's like fucking millionaire. What the fuck you talking about? I don't see no Regis in this bitch.
You ain't got no friends. What you talking? You calling?
Right. This is true. Oh man. Okay, we'll go with Ted, not Arnold. Arnold can't even put a sentence together like that. So
Articulate
definitely
that.
Ted.
Okay, yes, it was Ted Nugent. It
Yes.
was Ted Nugent. All right. Well, you guys are tied, and I have one more that I had just an extra. So this is the tiebreaker for all the marbles. Will Michael Cargill be going home with the Gray Area Podcast party bag
Paperweight.
extraordinaire paperweight, or will it stay at home with Chad, who's defending it on behalf of Peter Joseph? Where you have the most armed citizens in America, you have the lowest violent crime rate. Where you have the worst gun control, you have the highest crime rate. Was that Ronald Reagan or was that Ted Nugent?
Ted Nugent.
Yeah, Nugent.
Fuck yeah.
I'll say Reagan just to break the tie.
No, don't say Reagan because then he gets the bag. I don't want to go buy another $1 bag. So. Yes, it was Ted Nugent. Mike, you know some of your gun quotes, I should say. That was our game this week. Mike, I guess you won since you went Reagan. Congratulations.
Boom, boom.
There you go.
There you go. You're not giving him an
Whoa.
Arsenio. Hoop,
Yeah,
hoop,
it's
hoop.
heavy.
That's kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's a rock.
Yes. It's really a rock in there.
Yeah.
That was our gray area game for the week. Chad, do you have some headlines?
Yeah, I do, man. We got some funny ass headlines this week.
Nice.
First headline is naked fugitive rescued from crocodile infested mangroves by fishermen.
What's a
So
mangrove?
It's like some Australia shit.
Okay.
So it says 2 fishermen have rescued a naked fugitive who they found sitting on a tree branch in an Australian crocodile habitat. So this dude was like naked. Supposedly he had like escaped, or he was under confinement. He had like a ankle bracelet on and shit. He cut that bitch off, and somehow he's out in the goddamn middle of the Australian fucking crocodile country and shit.
All of that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I guess. And so, dude, this is the funniest shit. The 2 guys that rescued him, one of the guys says, it didn't make sense to us, referring to the explanation for his nudity. He had a nest made up in the tree, and he was only laying a meter above the water, and there were crocs in the water. So they're just like biting at his ass and shit. He's just standing up there naked. Like, what the fuck, dude? He's probably like, just send me to prison, motherfucker. This is so much worse. I don't want to do this shit anymore.
I think I should be absolved of some of my time. You can knock a couple months off my sentence. I just survived crocodile jail.
Yeah. So they were like kind of freaked out. And they said once we'd seen how bad he was and how many cuts he had all over him, He was dehydrated and pretty weak. Then we decided we should probably get him in the boat. We're like, I guess so, man. I guess if he's dying, fuck it. Let's get him in the boat.
Can listen here. I actually can follow his train of thought. Like cut the bracelet off, right? I got to take all my clothes off because I seen Enemy of the State. They could have my clothes bugged. There could be something in my shoes or my jacket. I got to lose all my clothes. Then they can't track me. I go into this crocodile field. Nobody's looking for anybody there. He almost made it. If it wasn't such a stupid plan.
He didn't almost make it, dude. He's got the furthest from making it that you could possibly be. He was like trapped outside of prison.
You know what? But if you die, then you don't go to jail.
Dude, he said the guy said he looked like they gave him a beer, and he said he looked like he needed a beer, although he's in a pretty bad way. No, this motherfucker needs a hospital is what he needs. He doesn't need a beer, you dumbass. What the hell's wrong with you?
These are Australians. Of course he needed a beer.
And they said they were going to go visit him in the hospital, but then they found out that he was a wanted fugitive and decided against it. They're like, you know what? Fuck that guy. we shouldn't go see him, You should
totally go have a beer with that guy. Don't be haters.
That's hilarious, man. So yeah, they got their name in the paper and said, fuck him. Second headline, robbery suspect returns to scene of crime to grab sandwich he left behind.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so this guy went and robbed a Subway.
Where was this at?
Yeah, this was in Norcross, Georgia.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mike, that's your people.
Yeah.
That's your people like
I'm hungry. I forgot my sandwich.
Yeah, this motherfucker.
Shit, I got to go back and get my goddamn
And he only got $100. This dude's going to end up doing like 5 years in prison for $100 and a goddamn sandwich. Knowing goddamn well the motherfucker's only $5.
He said, look, it was a good sandwich.
I was about to say,
I made that sandwich.
Damn. His last meal is going to be like he's got like a Subway club card and a goddamn.
Ain't nothing better than a gas station tuna fish sandwich. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
I had a foot of meat on that and extra cheese. It was a good sandwich.
It said he fled the eatery with the money after an October 9th robbery, but surveillance footage shows him later running back into the eatery to grab the sandwich he absentmindedly forgotten on his original getaway.
Man, take your robbery money and go buy you a sandwich somewhere.
What the hell's wrong with you? You just got $100, man. There's probably a Chipotle around the corner or some shit.
You got to play black, white, or other. Hey, he definitely was black.
Jesus.
No, dog. He was actually white. And he
was
like
he? Oh, no.
Like a meth head, which is strange because meth heads don't usually eat that much. But this motherfucker was hungry.
How you put that on the black folks?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus.
Dog, unfortunately, this is all white people. This is all white people headlines week. So yeah,
black people don't ever do nothing to get in the headlines.
Yeah, white people got to step it up. Stop doing dumb shit. Third headline, final headline. Man's attempt at using Google to rob a bank backfires spectacularly. This dumb son of a bitch Googled how to rob a bank. You know damn well this is a surveillance state and shit like that. It took him probably like 4 minutes. He was like, we got one. Let's just see if he does it though. William Johnson, 26, reportedly fled in fucking some credit union branch in Largo, obviously in Florida, with an undisclosed amount of cash Thursday morning after suggesting to tellers he was carrying a gun. They found him at an Express Inn. Dog, you just robbed the bank and you're at Express Inn, motherfucker. Why are you not at like the Ritz-Carlton or something?
Because he's splitting the sandwich with that last motherfucker.
They said he went on a drug binge. I bet, dude, his drug dealer was probably happy as fuck. He's like, hell yeah, motherfucker. I'm about to get paid. Shit.
Until he found out, you Googled it? Nigga, get out of my house.
Yeah.
Get out of my house.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here.
So the detectives asked him what happened and shit. And he said he informed detectives that he was in need of money. So he Googled how to rob a bank.
Google has answers for everything.
Yeah, dog, I guess. They obviously not good ones because this motherfucker got caught. So yeah, maybe talk to a friend instead of fucking doing the Google shit.
No shit. Or just go watch a movie from like the 50s.
Yeah.
There's plenty. They have like enough information in those movies.
The key is you can't drive, man. You got to get off on foot. You got to take some clothes off. Just start walking around like you ain't nobody.
Nah, you should just gone to YouTube.
Yeah. There you go.
not Google, YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube will walk you right through it.
Yeah.
Then you walk in
Step
like
by
this.
step.
Yeah, step by step.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for
Yeah.
those headlines,
Yeah,
Chad.
good
Good job this week. Michael Cargill.
What's up?
In the place to be. Good to
Yeah.
have you here, owner of Central Texas Gunworks. Man, you were just alluding to how good it was, or how good the gun business was doing right now. I saw that like the numbers went up like 170% in some months for gun sales during 2020. Did you get any of that love?
Yeah, it was crazy. It started like on March 13th. I call that D-Day, when the country started shutting down.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, we're going to shut down. We're going to, stay in place. And I actually had a friend of mine give me a call about this a few weeks before. He said, Mike, he said, the entire country's getting ready to shut down. I was like, man, what are you talking about? He said, look, they're getting ready to shut it down. This is like 2 weeks before, anyone had said anything. I was like, man, you're crazy. There's no way in the world they're going to shut the United States down. Make people stay inside their homes? Like, yeah. So 2 weeks later, March 13th rolled around. Boom. They shut it down. People were coming into the gun store that weekend. I need to buy a gun. We sold everything. I mean, everything. So anything I had on the walls, it wasn't tied down. Stuff that I couldn't get rid of, we sold. I had stuff, that we've been holding on to for like 2-3 years. We sold that. It got so bad. I'll tell you a little secret. What I ended up doing that weekend, we sold every gun that we had. I ended up going to all the pawn shops in town because no one went to the pawn shops. I had to go buy the guns from the pawn shops, transfer those guns from them to me, and I bought those and sold those guns that following week until I was able to get some more inventory into the store.
Holy shit.
No one knows that. It's the secret of doing business.
Everybody knows that now. Have you ever had to do that before? Have you ever had to go buy a gun from a pawn shop?
No.
Where did that idea come from?
I just had to use my head. I was like, we had nothing. I left for the day and I came back and I'm like, where's everything? Did we get robbed or something? Like, no, we just sold it all. I'm like, what is going on? So I was like, well, there's no way I can get inventory the next few days. There's no way. It's impossible. So I, call my distributors. It's going to be 2-3 days at best that I can get some inventory in that place. And so I was like, I got to figure something out. So I just, sat down and just thought about it. It's like, well, shoot, just hit the pawn shops up. No one went to the pawn shops. They had guns in the pawn shops. No one even checked.
That's crazy.
So I went and bought all the guns in the pawn shops around town. Boom, 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 boom. Had them transferred to Central Texas Gun Works and boom, sold those.
What do you think? What do you think drove that though?
It was the fact that, people are afraid that people are going to break into their house. They're going to rob them because the country's shutting down. Where are people going to get their next meal from? What's going to happen? Are people going to just, start committing crimes and say, hey, we need to defend ourselves. We need guns. We need ammunition. So boom, they walked into the gun store and started buying everything.
And that was the initial rush in March.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, though, you saw a pretty big uptick during the summer as well.
Oh, yeah.
Though.
So the speed forward to like June 1st, that's when all the protests and the riots started, all around the country. So like in Austin, we had like a lot of protests in Austin where the police were so focused on the protest and trying to control the protesters that they weren't focusing on, other things. They were spread too thin. So what happened was like in Austin on June 1st, every gun store had break-in attempts. They broke into like academies. They broke into even Target. People started boarding up. Mm-hmm. They broke into the gun stores up north. Just everywhere they're trying to break into. They stole 40 guns out of the gun stores in North Austin. They stole some stuff out of Academy. Cleaned a bunch of stuff out of there. They tried to break into our place. They shot the front entrance. Tried to ram the entrance. Like 8 people, 5 vehicles deep. Try to break into the gun store. They shot rounds to the door. We got a bullet go through the door, hit the ground, ricochet, hit the ceiling. It was just crazy, but they weren't able to get inside. So then it cost me like $10,000 to, add more security and stuff like that to the place to make sure that we can, even catch them even sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was crazy, June 1st. So with the protests, we were like, oh, man, this is crazy. Things are out of control. The police can't, they may not respond. They're busy, handling stuff downtown, so we need to get a gun. And then you get past that. They start saying, what is it? September, October, let's defund the police.
Right.
All you had to do is say defund the police. People lost their mind. I had people walking in. Dudes walking in and said, man, they just defunded the police. I need to get a gun. So, I mean, you got the country shutting down in March. I need a gun. June, protest. I need a gun. September, October, they defunded the police. I need a gun. It just kept rolling in. Boom. Every time we'll, hit that peak, slow down a little bit. Boom, something happened. Whoop, peak, slow down a little bit. Boom, something else will happen. And just kept rolling in. Boom. And now you have the biggest demand for 2020 was like the biggest demand on gun sales in the history of this country. And it will be 4 years before we can catch up from what just happened in 2020. The demand is so high right now that now it's hard for me to even get any guns.
Really?
I this morning, I spent my morning on the phone talking to different distributors, just trying to get, one of this, one of that. Demand is so high. Everyone's out of stuff. And so everyone's trying to restock, but we can't restock because the demand is so high. It's impossible. It will be 4 years before we catch up. And that's provided that nothing else happens.
Now that's just the guns that are sold legally. That's
right.
That's not even to count all the illegal transfers of firearms.
If people would stop leaving their guns in their vehicles, then you won't have those illegal, firearms, because people are breaking into cars. If you go to your, Ring technology, Nest technology, whatever, your Next Door, whatever it is, all you hear about are people breaking into the cars at night, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, stealing guns, because that's what they're doing. They're breaking the cars, stealing guns, so they can sell them on the black market. And now ammunition. So people bought all these guns and they're trying to stock up on ammo. Can't get ammunition now. So now we're backed up on ammunition. You got people that walked in, bought guns. They're selling guns right now in Academy. They will sell you a gun that comes into the store that day. All right. And then guess what? Boom. There's no ammunition. You got a gun. I got this Glock 19, but I got no ammunition to put into it. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
I would blow your head off if I had a bullet.
Yeah, you got people, man, I have people that are saying, hey, is there a way I can get less lethal ammunition? No. Why would you want to point a gun at someone and be less lethal? If you were to point a gun at someone, you better pull the trigger to stop them, because that means that person's trying to kill you. If that's not what they're trying to do, you may want to come take a class and learn what use of force and deadly force is.
They about to start buying some slingshots and shit.
I tell you, it's been a crazy year.
So,
crazy.
Like, with your background and stuff, as you were watching the protests last year, what were you looking at? Because I mean, firearms definitely became a topic of conversation during the protest over the summer and into the fall last year. With your background, were there concerns with what you were seeing happening across the country? Yeah,
I was very concerned with our security. I was very concerned with people getting in, because we have a lot of machine guns. We have suppressors, a lot, hundreds. And so that people are waiting to get approved to get those things. And so, I still, even though I didn't have guns that customers can actually walk in and buy, I still have, over 500 other items that I'm holding on to that are, what we call NFA items, National Firearms Act items, that people have to get special permission for, like a machine gun, a suppressor, a short barrel rifle, a short barrel shotgun, stuff like that. So my concern was making sure that someone didn't break into the store and steal those. So we had to add extra layer of security, park vehicles, I use so much in my security arsenal, things I can't even tell you about, to make sure that you can't stop someone from breaking in. Only thing you do is slow them down. So the goal is to slow them down in enough time that, either I can get reinforcements there or get the police there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really it.
Jed?
So there was I doing research for this interview and stuff. I saw that recently someone tried to put a crack pipe and some crack in your car.
Yes.
Did you sell it or did you smoke it? Which one?
It's funny you say
Dude, that would be a good ass motto you could have for the store. We might have some crack too.
You never know.
When you run out of guns, meet me around back.
Right?
You ain't got no guns, dog. Meet me in the back. We might have some crack.
I know. I actually tossed it in the dumpster, but it was crazy because a lady walked by. And I'm looking. What people don't realize, I have more cameras in our parking lot now than we have inside the building.
Wow! So
I can actually. There's only 1 or 2 cameras that I actually will post video from on social media. The other cameras, I would never post those videos because I don't want anyone to know what those cameras are. Yeah. So I tracked this person throughout the entire parking lot, to where she walked in front of our place, and this was like someone's mother, someone's grandmother, and didn't look like a crack addict at all. And just and right around the same time that she actually walked by, a police officer was pulling someone over, but she was already coming toward where we were, and just for no apparent reason, just stuck, a crack pipe and some crack, under our bumper of one of our vehicles that we have in front of the vehicle, in front of the building, which is a range vehicle. And so the way this person did this, and then walked away, it was just really weird, and they never came back. So a crack addict, thought that, the police are coming, let me hide my crack. Well, then they'll eventually come back and get it.
Yeah.
This person never, ever came back. My cameras, the way my cameras are set up, I'm alerted to any motion in that parking lot. So that person never came back to the parking lot at all.
That's crazy. So you think they were like trying to plan it?
Oh, it's definitely some type of setup or something's going on there. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Who's mad at you? Who's so mad at you that they would send a crack plant?
Either you love Michael Cargill, you hate me. I don't know why. I don't. It's because I'm who I am. And I either when you ask me a question, I'll give you an answer. You may not like that answer. You may not like some of the things that I say or do, but I'm very firm in everything that I believe and what I say. So either you like me or you don't.
I got a more. That's actually a really good fact, actually, because I've seen this in practice. People either love you or they hate you.
Hate me.
So recently, it came out that the NRA filed for bankruptcy in New York, and they were looking to move to Texas.
Right.
I don't understand this story. Can you help make sense of it? Like, what? Like, the NRA is what? Like, just lobbyists, basically,
Right.
or what? Help me understand this story.
Well, they're training organizations. The National Rifle Association, they do a lot of training. I'm an NRA instructor, so I get my credentials from the NRA to actually train people how to shoot in pistol, rifle, and all those things. You get credentials from that. So they have that aspects of it. And then they also have their political aspects, the ILA, where they, put money, towards, different elected officials to, get things going their way. So they have two different portions of that. What's strange about this whole thing is that they were still in New York, in the state of New York. Out of all this time, why are they in New York? Why didn't they move to Texas? And so the way I understand this is they're actually not moving to Texas. The lawsuit is being moved to Texas, to like a Texas court, the way I understand it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking that's actually happening. I don't think they're actually going to physically move the NRA to Texas, which they should. They should have done this a long time ago. But no, I don't think they're going to do that.
So are they broke? Are they if they file for bankruptcy, are they less prevalent now, or is this just some political gesturing?
I think this is a political move. It's a chess move is all it is, to, get that tension away from them. And so they can take some time to hide assets and do certain things they need to do. And then come down to Texas court, a little more friendlier to the National Rifle Association. They're more likely to get whatever they want, and it'll be a little easier for them.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do they make money? Is it off of dues or stuff? Like, I don't understand how they're filing bankruptcy.
You pay for everything. You pay for the credentials to be an instructor. They actually will call people. You pay for the membership. So it's, it's membership, the magazine, people pay to advertise in the magazine. So it's a lot. They do a lot of fundraising. People donate a lot of money to the National Rifle Association because they will call you up and say, look, now we got a Democrat in office. They're going to take our guns away. So we need some money. So what do you think about that? They're coming after your AR pistol. They're coming after your, this. We need, your donation. And people will make those donations.
You think that the NRA is going to operate differently now that Trump is out of office?
No, they're going to operate the same. But now that we have a Democrat in office, this is a good money making for them. They're going to make some money off of this for the next 4 years.
How?
Because there's a Democrat in office, and whenever there's a Democrat in office, they always come after the guns. And now, guess what? We just lost all, 3 branches. You just lost the House, the Senate, and the White House, to the Democrats. And because of that, they can do whatever they want to, pass whatever bills they want to. If they want to come after your AR pistol, they can come and get it. They want to come after your suppressors, your silencers, they can come out and get them if they want to.
Is that just is that fear mongering? Like, are they just driving up fear amongst their base or is there real context there that these guns could be taken? Or are they just trying to drive up fear?
There is some context in that. If you'd asked me this back when Obama was in office, I'd have told you no. Obama never came for guns. We actually got more things from President Obama than we did from President Trump. Under President Obama, believe it or not, they didn't come for guns. We actually got gun owners can actually carry a gun on Amtrak, not as a passenger, but you can check it in the luggage on Amtrak. Under Obama, gun owners would be able to carry their firearms inside national parks under President Obama. So he, gave us more. We actually got bump stocks under President Obama's administration. Believe it or not, a bump stock is so that, if I'm a wounded veteran and I want to be able to shoot because there's something wrong with my arm, the bump stock, what it is, it allows you, to put the rifle on your shoulder and use the reaction from the gun discharging to be able to fire your next shot.
Okay.
So it almost, if you do it fast enough, people think, okay, it's kind of like a machine gun. So they want to say the bump stocks are kind of similar to a machine gun, but it's not. All it is just the back, the butt stock, the part that touches you is that portion that moves. And because it moves, it uses the reaction of the gun firing. Yeah. It actually, you push out, you pull back, you fire, it goes out, and it just makes it fire faster. That's all it is. And so it's really for like wounded veterans.
Yeah, I was going to say, so you said, I saw this recently that you said that the Trump administration has been one of the worst administrations for gun rights.
The worst.
Yeah, and so why is that? Why do you believe that? Because a lot of people assume that it's the opposite. Because you talk to most, quote unquote liberals and stuff, they say that he was like, super pro gun and all this shit.
Yeah, actually, under a lot of your Republican presidents, we actually lose a lot. Reagan, people, the Republicans love Reagan. They think, oh, Reagan is this, we need to have another president that's just like Reagan. Well, from Reagan, we got the Brady Bill. The Brady Bill is a background check, system and all that stuff that came from that. Well, Brady was actually Reagan's press secretary who was shot when someone actually tried to shoot Ronald Reagan.
Mm-hmm.
From that, we got some gun control from the Reagan administration.
He's like, look, it's gone too far, motherfuckers.
Right.
Shot Brady.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? We can't do this shit anymore.
And then you go to like Trump. The reason I say Trump is the worst 2A president is because under Trump, he came after bump stocks. He said, also Trump said, you know what, screw due process. Let's take the guns first. Screw, arresting this person and charging them and seeing if they actually, get convicted in court. Let's go ahead and take their guns first. Mm-hmm. He also came after the bump stocks. They also, under his administration, came after AR pistols, which are, a lot of people have AR pistols. They wanted to ban those. Mm-hmm. You ban AR pistols, you're going to turn millions of Americans into felons overnight if you ban that. And so that's
after
just
it's already been legal and that they were allowed to purchase them.
Correct. And an agency, my whole argument, the reason I actually filed a lawsuit against the Department of Justice, against the Trump administration, is because the ATF, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, don't have the authority to create law. Okay, only the Congress can create law, and not an agency. So an agency can't come to me and say, hey, there's something that I purchased. I bought this cup here legally and I purchased this. Well, they can't come along and say, well, you know what? That cup is banned. It's illegal. And if you don't turn it in, we're going to put you in jail and convict you of a felony. And we're not going to give you money or replace.
Yeah, you better give me some money back.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything. They're just going to take your item from you.
Yeah. So you're just out that money.
Right. You're out it. And that's crazy. You don't have the right. It was legal when I purchased it. You're saying it's now illegal. Well, reimburse me for it. And by the way, you don't have the right to do that. Congress has the right to do that. Mm-hmm. Congress comes out and creates a law that says bump stocks are banned. Then I'm dead in the water. Yeah. Congress has not done that.
Yeah.
So is that lawsuit still pending or going on?
Oh yeah, we filed an appeal. It's gone to the first court, which is federal court here in Austin at the federal courthouse, was a judge out of Hawaii. I knew we were going to lose that case because he's from Hawaii. They hate guns, and he's going to stick to his base. And boom, we lost that case. So we're now appealing to the next circuit, which is in Louisiana. And so that's a more conservative circuit. So I anticipate we're going to win there. And then once we win there, the other side, the ATF and the DOJ, is going to appeal to the Supreme Court. So we're trying to make it to the Supreme Court so it can affect the entire country. So right now it's Michael Cargill against, the government.
Yeah.
The Department of Justice or ATF or whoever.
It's gangster.
That's right.
So you won in court here in Austin the right to carry a gun at City Hall.
Right.
I think that's hilarious. I think it's a great idea because I think that we should have people just carrying guns like around their shoulders, walking around City Hall, just like looking threateningly at all politicians. Maybe we'd actually get some shit done if people were just like, "Hey, motherfucker!"
Only if they walk in with a hat with horns coming out of it.
yeah. But can you tell us a little bit about that and what that was about? And
it's funny because they, the one thing these people fear around here, they hate seeing a black guy with a gun. Let me tell you. Yeah. And you talk about, black guy carrying a gun anywhere, and that's where new laws come out of it. Like if I go back to California, Ronald Reagan, was governor of California. The Black Panthers walked into the capital of California, and then California started gun control.
Of course. Yeah.
Right.
Because of Reagan. Yeah. That's where it all started. All right. So, So what happened was I went to Austin City Hall, to try to carry my handgun inside Austin City Hall. They told me, no, I couldn't do it. I need to leave. Get out. We're going to call the police, going to arrest you. Well, situation like that, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to debate. I'm not going to go to jail. I'm not going to get arrested. So what I did was I left. Well, the way our law is in Texas, that is a city building. It's a city building, county building, state building, whatever. Mm-hmm. In those places like that, we can actually carry a handgun there with a license. That's where the law is actually written in the Texas law. Mm-hmm. So the only way I cannot carry a gun in there is if they're having an open meeting. So like city councils in there having an open meeting, then they can prohibit me from carrying in there. Well, if they're not having an open meeting, I should be able to carry my handgun in there with a license. So I went to the AG's office. I filed a complaint with the AG. AG agreed with me, said, okay, City of Austin, you can't post a sign. You got to let, Michael Cargill into the building. So they took their sign down. So then I went back to carry again. And I walked back in there. They're like, no, I said, what do you mean? We're going to give you verbal notice. And they was like, matter of fact, read this little thing right here. I said, man, you guys can't give me verbal notice. He said, leave, get out. I said, okay, I'm gone. Peace. I left, went back to the AG's office, filed another complaint. AG sent a letter to the city of Austin, said, hey, you can't give him verbal notice. They said, well, we're going to do it anyway. AG said, okay, fine, we're going to take it to court. So we took the city of Austin to court, the district court. This case took 3 years, went to court January 2019. They put me on the stands January 2019. They kept me on the stands for about 2 hours questioning me about Texas gun laws. Boy, I tell you, they didn't like that. And so they finally gave up because they couldn't trip me up on anything because I know Texas gun laws. So they said, okay, fine. The judge said, okay, city of Austin, you got to allow license holders to carry their gun inside your buildings, and you're going to pay $9,000 in attorney fees. Well, the kicker to it, what a lot of people don't know is, I said, you know what? That's not enough because it took 3 years. You only fined them $9,000. So I complained to the AG's office. AG finally agreed with me, and they're filing an appeal. We filed an appeal last year to the next court where it shouldn't be $9,000. It should be $5 million.
What?
That's right. It's going to be so we're appealing. We're asking for $5 million fine. Even though we won the case, we're asking for $5 million. Now, that money does not go to me. That money goes to the state of Texas for education. The only thing I get when I go into the city of Austin, I get this. They're like, he's here. They follow me around the building.
Like, you should just go there and just like do a couple of laps around every day, just like, hey, what's up, guys? Just get a couple drinks of water or some shit.
I thought you were about to get $5 million. I was like, man, we going on the bender right now, Mike, with your $5 million.
No, I don't get anything. They just follow me around the building. They wait for me to screw up. So when I fall, I'm gonna fall hard.
Yeah.
So did you play a part in the open carry becoming legalized on campus here at UT?
For campus carry, concealed carry, not open carry. But yes, I played a big part in getting concealed carry passed in Texas on college campuses, because the reason I did that is because way back when I was a lot younger, my grandmother actually raised me. I was raised by her. I actually spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and she was partially blind in one eye, blind in another eye. And so she decided, after a while, she wanted to go back to college, get a college degree, become a nurse. And so while she was traveling from a college library, sitting at a bus stop waiting for a bus to come, a guy came along and mugged her and raped her. And I decided that I would make sure that every woman in my family would not have to experience something like that. So I promised my grandmother on her dying bed that I would never let another lady experience that. So that's why I'm so strong when it comes to the Second Amendment. I'm so strong when it comes to teaching people how to shoot, to carry a gun, know the laws, because of what happened to my grandmother. And so that's why I do this fight. That's why I don't give up. That's why I don't care who threatens me. I don't care who hates me. I'm doing this because that was my grandmother, and that was the nicest lady on this planet. If there's anyone sitting in heaven right now, that is that lady right there. She did not deserve to be treated that way. And so because of that, I do what I do. And I made sure that we're going to get campus carry passed. It took me 10 years going back and forth to that building, to the Texas State Capitol, to get this done. And they were going to get it done. I was not going to let them up. I sell these people guns. The attorneys that work for the governor, the attorneys that work for the lieutenant governor, all their little aides, they all come and buy guns from me. I know these people, and I talk to them and I hound them, make sure they were going to get this passed, and they got it passed. And that's why we can now, with a license, you can carry your handgun concealed inside of a building of a college campus.
And what do you say to the people that don't think that's a good idea? Because clearly there's people on the other side of the line of that, especially when they look at mass shootings across the country, and how that could be exacerbated with people carrying on campuses.
Sure.
What do you say to the people on the other side of the line?
So people that take the time to get a license, sit in class, to learn what the laws are not the people that commit crimes. When you look at the stats of who actually have licenses and what crimes they've been convicted of, they're not the people that are committing crimes. So other people are doing those things. People that, come to class, they want to do the right thing. They want to protect themselves and also protect their families. They're not about going out there and committing a crime. Why would you sit in the classroom all day, pay all these fees and all that stuff just to go rob a bank? No one does that. Only a criminal's going to do that. They're going to steal a gun or buy a gun off the street, illegally or whatever, to go commit a crime.
Right.
So, so they're wrong, and they're hateful about it, which is fine. I understand their passion for their side of it. Then they need to understand my passion for my side, because I'm not giving up this fight. We got campus carry passed in the state of Texas, and we're going to keep it.
Yeah. I'll say this, like I've never shot a gun or even held a gun, and I'm not like a huge fan of them, but I will say this, that I've always kind of like been a proponent of gun rights and everything like that just because I don't trust the government like at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I would trust like a person like yourself way sooner than I would the government. And so I'm not going to be like a gun person. I just don't like having that much power in my hand and shit. It just makes me feel really uneasy. But I also think that if we don't have them, I think things will like tyranny will expedite at an extreme rate, you know what I'm saying, right now, because I think that's one of the only things that's holding people back, holding the government back from taking even more rights, honestly.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, because you have to have, you don't have your, once they take your Second Amendment away from you, then they can take everything else.
Yeah, because they're not worried about you whatsoever. Right. I've read somewhere that Wisconsin, I think it was Wisconsin, like one of the most like heavily armed states. So I read somewhere that like Wisconsin, like just the state of Wisconsin alone would amount to like the most heavily armed army that the United States would ever come in contact or has ever come in contact with during all of our, tyrannical fucking
a lot of hunters up there in Wisconsin.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like that's one of the reasons why they won't fuck with people is because they know like these people are so armed, you know what I mean? Like this is going to be worse than any war we've ever, gotten our nose into and stuff. And so I think I don't trust the government like at all. And so therefore I am kind of like an opponent or proponent of gun rights.
Right.
Because of that fact.
And don't confuse that with what happened in D.C. 2 weeks ago. Because what happened in D.C. 2 weeks ago, that was some craziness. People that, are just poor losers. You lost the election. Your guy didn't win. Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, we're going to take it. No, that's not how things go. Everyone cheats. Both sides cheat. They do things, equally. That's the government you're talking about. You're talking about a politician, a Democrat or Republican. We get caught up in all that stuff. Those people don't care about you. They care about staying in office. He was so concerned. Trump was so concerned with, just find me more votes. You got to find me some more votes. There got to be some more votes there somewhere because he wanted to hold on to that power. Yeah. It was all about him. It's not about the people.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
No, he didn't. He don't care about those people at all. So if he did, he would have pardoned them before he left office.
So that's a great point.
So he does not care about them.
So you alluded to it there. You're a Republican, right? And oh shit! There goes John Lennon down. Shit! Goddamn! John Lennon's like,
what? This is the where's the ghost at in this goddamn building?
John Lennon said, "What? He's a what? He's a what?
Like, what?
He's a what?"
Yeah.
Michael said, "What?"
I'm glad those frames weren't on that bitch because otherwise Colton would be having a mess to clean up over here.
He gonna have a mess to clean up anyways later on.
I ain't doing that
Might
shit.
get his hands on when you're gonna be cleaning some shit up, Colton.
Can I get them?
He'll be running from.
Hey, can I get them frames back, y'all? Shit. But no, you're a black Republican.
Yes.
Should we make a wish or something like? You're more rare than leprechauns. Like not many people. Why is that?
Okay.
Why do you think that there's? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more in Texas and
deep
stuff
down
like
inside.
that.
If you sit there and you talk with the black community, you ask them what do they want, what do they need. When they tell you exactly what it is, they are conservative.
They sound more
correct.
Yeah.
The problem with, having Trump as the president, this guy was a Democrat, lifelong Democrat. Yeah. He was always the person that he was, before he was always the same person. He hasn't changed at all. Lifelong Democrat. He decided that he's going to run for president. And he's going to become a Republican to run for president. He ran for president. This guy in 4 years destroyed the Republican Party. I said 4 years ago, this guy is going to come out with, we're going to lose portions of our guns from this guy. I said this 4 years ago. And I said, when he does, he's going to be a one-term president. And everyone's like, no, Trump's this, he's this great guy. I was like, okay. He was always a Democrat. All of a sudden, he runs for president. He's a Republican now. This guy destroys the Republican Party. 4 years, destroys it. And then, boom, takes off and leaves. The first person ever to not be there, when we, when power changes hands from one person to another. This guy got up that morning, jumped into the helicopter. Peace out. I'm out. Deuces. And took off and went to Florida. Was in Florida before the ceremony started. That is crazy.
He's had a tea time before that shit even started. And shit.
Crazy.
Yeah. So you recognized that like previously going into his presidency that he was not going to be an advocate
Absolutely.
for it. So I just got to ask, just because I'm apolitical, I'm not Democrat or Republican. I got to ask, do you think that that's like purposeful, that they have like Republicans are viewed as like these pro-gun, the pro-gun party, and they're actually regressing rights for gun owners and stuff like that? Do you feel like it's like any type of like game or something like that, or it's just like a charade?
It's all the political game, and we're stuck in it. You know, they're trying to hold on to power, and they're going to keep that power. Just like you look at Facebook, you look at all these other companies, Microsoft. You know, these guys originally they took what they wanted to get to where they are today. Facebook, Zuckerberg, he took what he wanted. He stole from those other people. He made a nice, huge company that's very powerful. And now when other companies come along, he's making sure they're not going to be able to take that power away. The new companies, what is it called? New platform that's out there. Parler. Right? They're going to crush Parler. Do you think they're going to allow Parler and allow millions, 74 million people to leave Facebook to go to Parler? They're not going to let that happen. He was a thief. He's a criminal, and he's going to make sure he maintains that power.
And now they have they are able to work in concert with several other,
and they're controlling the message. They're controlling the narrative.
That's what I think people need to be especially cognizant of, because one day it's Alex Jones, the next day it's anybody that says anything negative about the government. Man, you start to see when you watch this shit happen, you start to see how like Nazi Germany took place and shit, because you start to see these people like clamoring for and asking for all these fucking yuppies and shit in California and all these motherfuckers that are just like that think they stand for something, but it's really just like corporatism and
what the one thing that caught them off guard, what happened in DC 2 weeks ago, was they shut all these pages down. They blocked people from getting on social media. That event still happened. That event still happened. People still went to DC. They still drove DC in by the thousands, and it wasn't on social media.
Yeah. So it doesn't work. It doesn't matter anyways.
So yeah, the revolution will not be televised.
Yeah, definitely. And so I want to make it clear that like you obviously this is your, how you made a living and everything like that, but you also, you're not just selling guns willy-nilly and shit. You are a huge advocate for gun safety.
Absolutely.
And so can you tell us a little bit about that? And I know you teach all kinds of classes, and you have been a huge proponent of making sure that people have the proper safety and the proper information after they purchase a gun. And you're not just giving it to them and saying, go figure it out.
There you go. Fly now, fly.
Yeah, I'm really big on training. That's why our classroom is the biggest room that we have in the building, because I want people to come in, sit down, learn. I had a doctor who's a professor in a university, and come in, take the class from us. Took the class. We totally disagree on guns, totally 100%. And this doctor, this professor, decided that, okay, they're going to take the class. They took the course, and then they decided that they were going to, want to learn how to take the gun apart in little pieces and stuff like that and build it. How does the gun work? What makes it work? And then this doctor, what they did was, and I'm specifically saying they because I don't want to tell if it's a male or female. This doctor then, is taking a 101 class with me to go to the range and learn how to shoot and hold it. It takes me 2 minutes, 5 minutes to teach someone how to kill someone. That's very easy. I served 12 years in the Army. I can teach how to shoot and kill someone. That's very simple. The hardest thing is for me to tell people how not to pull that gun out. And so I like the fact that this person decided, to sit in the classroom, decided to learn how to take it apart for a whole hour, decided to take a 101 class and then learn how to shoot. They want to know everything first and then shoot second, because the shooting portion, that's simple. That's easy. Hitting that target, that is easy.
Yeah, that's awesome, because I think that's very important. Obviously, you don't want to just, and I read a lot of articles and said that you're very cognizant of the people that come in there. You say you have like a sixth sense almost, like you're able to like look at people and you look at them in the eye and everything
I'll call the police on you. I got snitches. I got stitches all down my leg. I will snitch on you in a minute.
But because you care, you don't want this getting in the hands of the wrong people.
I don't want you to be responsible for it.
I don't want one of the guns that I sold to someone to wind up, in a mass shooting or something like that. I've had people walk into the shop. I had a guy walk out of the hospital on South First in South Austin. This guy walked out of the hospital, walked up the sidewalk, walked into the gun store to buy a gun. Well, he walked in, and we didn't know he just came from the hospital. So he walked in, he said, hey, I want to get a gun. I want this amount of ammunition. I want this, I want that gun right there. So we started having him fill out the paperwork and stuff. And then, the guy was like, and my employees were like, something's wrong. I was like, okay, well, I came out of my office. I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting there listening. I'm talking to the guy. I started a conversation. I said, okay, something's going on. So I just hit the silent alarm. So then the guy's talking, he's talking, we want to signal the police to come, because I'm thinking something's going to happen here. I can just feel it. So, I hit the button, the police are on their way. And so I'm talking to this guy, and all of a sudden he just snaps. He says, you know what? I'm going to get this gun right here. And I want to I'm gonna go down to here to this hospital. I'm gonna shoot and kill everyone in the hospital.
Jesus.
And what people don't know, what this guy said, he was, I'm gonna get every one of these niggas. I'm gonna hit every cracker. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Da, da, da. This guy was straight crazy. He used every word that you ever want to hear. Everybody. He hated everybody. So this guy, he was at the hospital earlier that day, and they were trying to admit him into the psych ward. And so they didn't have enough beds. So they let this guy out of the hospital. They released him from the hospital. He walked out of the hospital, walked down the street, walked to the gun store to go back to the hospital to shoot and kill everyone in the hospital.
God damn.
And everyone we received so many phone calls after that because people that were working in the emergency room that day and in the hospital, I had people giving us gifts because they're like, man, this guy, he was going to do it.
Yeah.
He was going to do it.
And the funny thing about that is, like, if he had, it would have been
my gun that I sold.
Your gun, and it would have been a gun rights thing. We need to control these guns. But in reality, the problem started with the healthcare system, where there was a healthcare problem that they let go on the streets. That becomes a gun problem.
Right.
This is something I want to talk about. Is that something that I totally agree with what Aaron just said. Is that a lot of times guns and everything like that are blamed on what are essentially and primarily mental health problems. And we don't have any social systems in place to help people that have these problems. Do you see that obviously too? Because, like you said, like if someone's going to commit a crime, they want a gun that's stolen that can't be traced and everything like that. They're not going to go buy a gun and go do this shit unless they're, got a death wish or something like that.
Right.
But do you agree with these statements that like, obviously, the mental health situation in this country is terrible, and we're not helping any of these people. And then this is a last case scenario.
And
for
family members, it starts with the family, because family, when you got that crazy uncle, you got that crazy cousin, something's wrong with this person. We need to get, try to get these people some help. And our system, just like you said, there's something wrong with the system where families, you need to identify, if there's something wrong with someone. I've got phone calls from parents, mothers, fathers, whoever, sisters, brothers, to say, hey, my so-and-so is getting ready to walk into your store to buy a gun. Please don't sell him a gun. Right. Even though this person can pass the background check, they would say, please don't sell him a gun. And if they do walk in, please let us know. And we'll do that.
Yeah.
So, because they know when families know something is wrong and you go to that step to call me to say, hey, they're going to walk into your store and do this. Something's definitely wrong. And, we'll do that. We'll stop them. The last one that happened a few months ago. We had a person walk into the store and purchased a firearm, passed a background check and everything. And they had left the store, just walked out the door when the police came in, just missed them by like 2 minutes. And turned out this person was going to commit suicide. Jesus. We didn't know this. So I went into panic mode. I pulled up every camera that I had and to figure out where this person went because they were on foot.
Oh, shit.
And so luckily, I have so many, like I said, I got more cameras in the parking lot than I have anywhere else. We were able to trace this person in the parking lot where they went. The police got him right around the corner. Like I said, the police just missed him by 2 minutes. Found this person right around the corner because we have the security cameras and all that stuff. Very good, very good cameras. And was able to talk to this person and get the gun and keep them from committing suicide. Because I went into panic mode. I said, oh man, I got to do something to help this situation. Because we didn't get that sense from this person at all. So there are times that people will fool you. The crazy people can come across being very sane, and with
politicians
so many
do it every day.
Chad does it every day.
I'm good at it.
So I got a question, Mike. So like, if that happens, like if you like, not everybody has the number to Central Texas Gun Works or the local gun store, even know what gun store somebody might go to. But if you have a feeling that somebody might be at risk of doing something dangerous. Like who should you call? Like I can't, if I think my neighbor might be dangerous if he gets his hand on the gun, I can't call you. Right. Who do you call if you're suspicious?
It's really bad. The way the system is kind of set up is they have to almost do it before they're able to do something about it. Almost. Yeah. And that's how bad it is. And it's really, what if they jump off of a building? What if they, slit their wrists? What if, and the media, they won't talk about these things. The media will not talk about suicides and things of that nature. And I've asked them, I said, hey, how come you guys don't cover suicides? Because I know, the overpass, right outside the shop there was blocked off for a couple of hours because someone was on the overpass getting ready to jump off one day. I said, that was not on the news, and it was shut down, backed up for hours, and no one could go home for the day. How come that wasn't on the news? They say, well, we don't report suicides because if we do, more people would commit them.
But you report gun crime?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That's a great point.
That's really ridiculous.
Right.
That's really ridiculous. How do you counteract that? Like,
right.
That's like embedded now. So I was in Detroit, 2019. I was there visiting family, and the entire time I was there at my aunt and uncle's house, my aunt's watching the news in the next room, and every story was last night somebody got mugged, last night somebody got killed, last night there was a shooting. Like literally, the entire news was just about violence. Now, and following the logic you just gave, is the media now like they are? Is it a cycle? Like they're creating it by covering it?
Yeah, they're complicit.
Right. And instead of, I guess what they really should do is cover the good stuff. This is an example of what people should do, and cover the positive stuff. And it gives it a positive thing because you cover all that negative stuff and negativity, then that's what people are going to see and more people are going to do it. You got people in California that they love doing police chases. They will make sure that the police, that the cameras can see them, when they're driving down the road because it's like a game. The whole family can see me. Yeah. And you're committing a felony, you're going to get locked up for a long time. And they know they're going to get locked up, but still the cameras on them and every news outlet, in the city is all focusing on that little incident right there, following this person as the police are chasing them throughout the city and stuff like that. And they do it all the time because they highlight it.
Yeah, because you always hear about like the car chases in California and LA. When's the last time you saw the news cover a high-speed chase in Austin? Yeah. Or anywhere in Texas?
Doesn't happen.
But it happens in California 2, 3, 4 times a year.
They broadcast it. It's a big deal. And these guys, man, they love the attention.
That makes a lot of sense. Look at you being smart. So is there anything like coming down the line that you think people need to be aware of as far as like guns rights go, or even just culturally or politically? Like, you forecasted out the Trump thing at the beginning? What do you see coming on the horizon that like you should think people should just keep an eye on, keep a ear to the ground on?
All right. One thing is I'm writing a book. I got a book that's going to hopefully come out in 2021. I hope. I have a ghostwriter who's doing it. I'm not writing it. You don't want my writing. So, but I have a book that's coming out. That's one thing. The other thing is if you're worried about, AR, getting a rifle, you're worried about getting an AR pistol, then you're rightfully worried. I think now's the time. If you haven't already done so, it's going to be hard. You need to try to build your own gun, build your own rifle, build your own AR pistol. Get the parts, get the pieces, put it together and build it and do it in such a way that, this is what I would do. I can't tell you to do this when you walk to the gun store. If I tell you to do this in the gun store, I could be, obstructing justice. So I don't want to do that. But do it in such a way that, you're not being tracked or chased by the government so they don't know what you're doing. So that way, if they do ban this item, they do ban it, you can go bear it in your backyard and you got one. I'm telling you right now, because it's going to get banned. I'm telling you right now.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I think this administration is definitely going to do something with AR pistols or AR-15s, period. Something's going to change. I don't know what, but they're going to do something. As soon as we get past the pandemic and taking care of COVID-19 and getting the vaccine out there and all that stuff, they're definitely going to focus on the firearms and they're going to come after something for sure.
What do you think people's response is going to be to that?
It's going to drive people to the market, which is, it's already crazy right now. We can't handle it right now. I wish they wouldn't mention firearms at all. I'm glad he didn't say anything in his speech about guns because the inventory is not there. The demand is so high still right now and the inventory is not there. And it's going to take us a long time before we're able to get some, decent inventory.
What happens with all the, of all these people who have bought all these guns, we've got all these guns on in people's homes, in people's possession now. And nothing happened. Nobody breaks in. Now there's just a ton of armed people. At what point is there a possibility for that to go bad? Like if people are really upset about something and now you've got an armed population where you didn't have an armed population, do the chances rise for something bad to happen even if they did go and buy it legally?
No, I don't think people are typical. People want to, they want to live. They want to be left alone. They want to, enjoy their four walls and stuff like that. They don't want someone coming to their house telling them what they can and can't do. And that's really what people are doing with all these firearms. Because over the last 6 months, the people that actually bought the most guns were people that were on the left. Democrats actually bought the most guns.
Wow.
You know, black females, black males, couples, Hispanic, you know, males and females actually bought firearms for personal protection because they were worried about, you know, people on the right or some of these little organizations, you know, and that maybe, you know, who are supporting Trump or whatever, doing whatever they're going to do. So they actually bought guns, training, took classes and stuff like that. So I think that's what's happening. And that's why the demand is so high, because people that are typically not interested in buying guns bought guns. And so that's driving the demand right now. And they're still doing it.
Yeah, like when like this shit first started happening, like I thought about getting a gun, but instead I got me and my girlfriend a couple of tasers.
Yeah. And usually
it's gonna do anything.
It's a family thing, you know, because, you know, I'll have the guy come in and he'll want to get the gun. He'll buy the gun, take it home. The girl's like, no, take that back. And then he comes back, he has to return it. And then we don't do returns well.
Yeah.
No.
Can't return a gun,
oh, you just paid $700 for this gun. Guess what? We'll buy it for you for $500.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
We don't do returns well.
Yeah.
Do you think we've seen the worst of like these pro-Trump demonstrations and stuff? Like these people that did the stuff 2 weeks ago at the Capitol, they're still out there. Are they done, or
the government's coming for them?
Okay, so like there's really, do we have anything to fear from them still? Like
no, you have people out there that were trying to do something. I think they got suckered into actually doing what they did. I think people were mixed into the crowd. And a lot of stuff is so dangerous. You actually left the American people, you left our security open, you know, to push something like that, to walk into the Capitol. You allowed someone to set a pipe bomb, someone to set some type of microphone to record the conversations. You're looking at computers, you're recording stuff. You left us so open by even doing that in the first place.
It's very true.
You know, you put us in a world of hurt, you know, just by doing that. And the FBI is going to get them. There are tools that the FBI has, and they're going to get each and every one of these people. And they're coming for them right now. They're coming for them. These people are running. They're hiding. I had people that I was supposed to interview on my radio show. They're like, no, I'm not talking to anybody now. Oh, you're scared now, huh? Yeah, they're scared now. They're coming for them. It may be a week. It may be 2 weeks, maybe a month, maybe 3 months. They're going to get them. Each and every one of them. They're going to get all these people, and they're bringing them in, and they're all going to be charged with felonies. Good luck. You'll see them in 10 years.
So after 9/11, like we saw security tighten down at airports and stuff like that. Where do you think that we're going to tighten up at after that? Like, I mean,
I think because of this last incident that happened 2 weeks at the U.S. Capitol, that's going to affect gun legislation around the country. So people think they're going to get like certain things passed, like constitutional carry passed in Texas, which is you don't need a license to carry a gun. Everybody can carry a handgun. They think they're going to get that passed. It's going to be hard because of what happened in D.C. and what could happen at the Texas Capitol. They're not going to want that to happen, you know, here in Texas.
That's why I think everything is a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? And so I just find it very convenient that that's about to be on the agenda for the next 4 years. And then something like this happens and you got to face all these dumbasses, you know what I'm saying, that are doing this shit.
Aha, I told you so.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're like, look, you want these fuckers like taking over the government? Hell no. I mean, this guy's got fucking horns on his head, for Christ's sake.
And look, you just gave them a lot of fuel because you just had them in the balcony cowering for their life, afraid.
Yeah.
They were scared.
Yeah.
They had bags and crap over their face.
Yeah.
In the building, they used to pass a law. Yeah. They felt helpless. They felt like their life can be taken at any second now. They're going to pass some bills.
Oh, yeah. They don't give a shit. Yeah.
Yeah, trust me.
So we got to wrap it up here soon. But I want to ask you, what's going to happen when people can 3D print guns and stuff? Because that's definitely something that's a possibility. I mean, I'm sure people can do it even now. I've read articles and seen videos that people can do that now. So what's going to happen when anyone can 3D print a gun at home and you don't have to go through the government in order to obtain one?
It's going to come to the time where you walk up to a computer and just like it is on Star Trek, you walk up there, you say, hey, I need some tea, hot Earl Grey, and boom, it's going to spit it out. Yeah. That time is coming and you can't stop, you can't stop technology. Technology is coming. It's here. Get used to it. You can 3D print guns now. You can actually drill your own gun. You can manufacture your own gun at home in your own basement right now. Mm-hmm. I built one inside my house, for one of the news channels, in the living room of my house and started from scratch and turned to AR-15 and take it to the range and go fire it.
Damn.
You can do that right now.
Wow.
So people are going to do it and they're doing it now and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, it's going to happen. I think that's why it's so important that we need to focus on mental health problems and stuff like that. I think that there needs to be like that's why this is the gray area. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like I think that that we see two sides of this shit, and people are always, it's either got to be one side or it's got to be the other. You know, there's no in between. It can't ever be like, oh, why don't we focus on mental health, and then maybe we don't have so many crazy disenfranchised people running around wanting to shoot motherfuckers up.
Yeah,
for sure.
know?
I got a random question for you. What do you think about Ted Cruz?
Hey, Ted Cruz he's trying to run for president.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, he's trying to run for president. He's trying to set himself up. It's going to be between him and Greg Abbott. Abbott wants to be president, and Ted Cruz wants to be president. So we'll see. You'll see them both on the stage.
So like, I feel like Cruz is trying to pick up the mantle for Trump and take the congregation of people that, the pro-Trumpers and all them. I think he's trying to rally that base. Am I far off on that?
Yeah, you're right. He's trying to. He's hoping to become as popular as Trump. But I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He can't pull that off. He's not going to be able to pull it off.
Is he going to fuck Texas up in the process?
No, I think he means well. He knows right from wrong. He knows the Constitution. So no, I don't think so. But their days are numbered.
Last question here. Who would you think is going to be the next nominee for the Republican Party in 2024?
If they're smart, which they're not. If they're smart, they would get like a female or get a person of color or somebody like that to be the next candidate to run for office. But they're not smart like that, so they're not going to do that. They should do like Condoleezza Rice, would be perfect. Yeah. That would be a smart choice. But they're not going to do that. And it's going to be business as usual, trying to get that power back. And unfortunately, you're probably going to be in the same situation we're in today.
Hopefully it's not Meghan McCain. That bitch got a deeper voice than me. She looks like a fucking linebacker. She looks like a fullback from the 1994 fucking
New
Buffalo
York Giants
Bills or some shit, man. God damn. It's like, hey, guys, my dad was also died. Let's hope it's not that motherfucker. Where can everybody find you online, Michael?
All right, so you can go to listen to the radio show ComeAndTalkIt.com. You can go to Come and Talk It on Facebook. Central Texas Gunworks, we're a gun store. We do a lot of training, classes, and all that stuff. So definitely go to CentralTexasGunworks.com and check us out. Get some training, learn the laws. There's one thing that a lot of people don't know. If you buy 2 handguns and more in a 5-day period in Texas, or 2 long guns and more in a 5-day period in Texas from a gun store, that gun store will report you to the FBI or to the chief law enforcement in the county of where you live. So you need to know your rights, know what the laws are, know what's happening behind the scenes you don't know about.
That's crazy. Where is your store located here?
We're in South Austin on Ben White between South First and Congress.
Oh, shit. Okay. That's why you be going to Bender and shit, because you right down the street. Yeah.
Who, Ben? What? Never been there for a damn.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's close to my neighborhood, man. That's awesome. Thanks for coming on the show. For Michael Cargill. Cheatham, you want to tell us, everybody, is there a possibility that maybe there might be some comedy happening at that gun store again?
Yeah,
there was at one point.
Yeah, we used to do Guns and Giggles. It's been 4 years. It all happened because of Trump. So now he's gone now, so we can do the comedy show again.
Oh, we should, man. That would be awesome.
Guns and Giggles.
That would be the greatest fucking location.
It was the greatest fucking location, and it may be again in the future.
There's nothing else in South Austin, is there?
No, there's not shit going on, man. It's South Austin.
And people need it. People need to laugh. We need to have fun. We need to sit back and just enjoy life.
I totally agree, brother. Hell yeah. So you can find us at hotpiemedia.com, Instagram at Podcast The Gray Area, Twitter. I finally got our Twitter, dude. Twitter is at Podcast Gray Area, Facebook, The Gray Area Podcast. You can find all of our shit on there, all of our past episodes. We've had some good ones.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe, share. Don't be stingy. Don't be all, oh, this is my favorite podcast. No, share that shit.
Anyone to know about it because I'm a bitch.
Look, you know what?
Don't do that.
Fucking people need to hear Mike talking his shit, and they need to hear us, and goddamn it, share it.
As you see, man, we've got a variety of guests on. We've had someone from pretty much,
every walk of life.
We had Shahid Buttar on just recently, who ran against Nancy Pelosi.
And then Chad brought a communist on.
And then I brought so we got Democrat, communist, and Republican, dog. We got them all.
We got all the
and then we got somebody who doesn't believe in the system at all, Peter Joseph. So we hit all of them in the first 4 or 5 episodes, man.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode of The Gray Area. Thank you to our guest, Michael Cargill. For Chad, I'm Cheatham. Be kind to each other. And here's mud in your eyes. We'll catch you on the flip.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home on the web at hotpiemedia.com. the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.